Hey, welcome. Today we're going to dive into a pretty profound and, yeah, kind of unsettling warning from the Quran. It's a message that's been echoing for centuries, and we're going to unpack what it might actually mean for us right here in our modern lives. Let's get into it. So here it is. For mankind, the time of their reckoning has drawn near, yet they turn away in heedlessness. Whoa. That's a heavy one, right? And for most of us, when we hear something like the time of their reckoning, our minds probably jump straight to some massive end-of-the-world movie scene, way, way off in the future. But what if that's not the point? What if we've been missing something? What if this warning isn't actually about some distant, far-off future, but about something much, much closer and a lot more personal? All right, so how do we even begin to understand this warning in a new light? Well, it all starts by completely deconstructing our idea of Judgment Day. We need to stop seeing it as this one-time only global event and start seeing it as something deeply, deeply personal. This right here, this is a huge shift in thinking. The myth, the popular idea, is this big collective apocalypse. But the reality this interpretation points to, it's that your personal day of reckoning is always just around the corner. It's the day you die. Think about that. It's not about the end of the world. It's about your end in this world. And here's a thought that just makes it all click. The very first people who heard this warning over 1,400 years ago, what happened to them? They're all gone. Every single one of them has died. So for them, their individual reckoning, their judgment day, has already happened. The warning was real and immediate for them, just as it is for us. The speaker shares this really personal story that just brings it all home. His grandmother, she spent her life talking about these big future signs, waiting for them to appear. But she died. Her personal clock ran out first. Her day of reckoning came, not with some huge global spectacle, but quietly, with her own final breath. Okay, so if the reckoning is personal, and it's imminent, then what's the actual consequence of turning away in heedlessness? The punishment that's described here, it is probably not what you're thinking. We tend to think of punishment as something concrete, right? You lose your money, your health, your job. But what if the real punishment, the most severe consequence of living a heedless life, isn't something external at all? What if it's something you can't even see? There's a term for this, soyut aji, which translates to abstract pain, and it's this deep, profound inner suffering. It's not about what you lose on the outside, it's about what dies on the inside. It's the loss of your ability to feel real joy, to truly love, to experience any sense of peace. It's like life becomes tasteless. And to give you a sense of just how unbelievably intense this is, the speaker shares something from his own life. This inner pain became so crushing, so unbearable, that he actually wished for a physical injury. He wished he could break his arm, anything just to have a real physical pain to focus on instead of this formless agony inside. And this is the heartbreaking consequence. He found out that his own little daughter at her school had a nickname for him. Surats's Baba, the sour-faced father. He was there, physically, but he was so lost in that inner pain that he couldn't even offer his own child a smile. He was a ghost in his own home. And that's the core of it. The true punishment for heedlessness isn't some lightning bolt from the sky. It's the slow, quiet fading of your own inner light. It's living in a world full of beauty but being completely numb to it, present in body but totally absent from all of life's joy. So, if that's the terrible consequence, how do you get away from it? What's the path out? Well, this leads us to the solution, and it's all about understanding what faith and worship are actually for. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that salvation is just about checking boxes, performing the rituals, saying the prayers. But this view says, nope, you're missing the point. The rituals aren't the final destination, they're the vehicle. They are powerful tools designed to shape you into a better person. Here's how the process is laid out. It's pretty straightforward. Step 1, you've got your rituals, like prayer. They are the tools. Step 2, their purpose is to help you feel a connection to something bigger than yourself. Step 3, that connection is supposed to spark something in you. It's supposed to inspire you to do good in the world. And that leads to Step 4, the righteous deeds, which are the real ultimate goal. So what exactly are these righteous deeds, or Salih Amal? It's actually super simple. It's about positive actions that make a real, tangible difference in the lives of other people.
Being honest in your business, being kind to your neighbor, helping someone who's struggling. It's how your faith actually improves the world around you.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head. God doesn't need our worship. We need it. We, as a society, need the results of that worship. Your private prayer is between you and God, and that's great for you. But your kindness, your integrity, that helps me, that helps everyone. That's what actually builds a better community. So we've got the warning, we've got the consequence, and we've got the path forward. But in the end, it all boils down to a simple choice. Do we actually listen to the warning, or do we do what the verse says and just turn away in heedlessness?
And of course, the Quran is fully aware that a lot of people are going to hear all this and just brush it off. They'll laugh, they'll call it nonsense, and they'll just retreat back into their own comfortable reality, basically a self-imposed illusion.
And this story from the source is just a perfect modern-day example. You have this businessman, and things are getting tough. He gets a clear warning. You need to scale back. Be careful. But does he listen? Nope. He's trapped in this idea that money attracts money. So he does the exact opposite. He doubles down, expands like crazy. And what happens? 2 years later, he's lost everything.
He chose to ignore the red flags. He was so caught up in his own little bubble, his own sihir or illusion, that he literally couldn't see the reality that was staring him right in the face. He turned away from the warning, and he paid the price.
And that brings this ancient verse crashing right into our lives today. The reckoning is personal. The pain of ignoring it is internal. And the way out is through action. So the real question this leaves us with isn't about the end of the world. It's about our own world. What warnings in our health, in our relationships, in our own character are we choosing to ignore right now?